All right, so I decided to pop in real quick for you guys, give you guys a quick little update on what's going on with the three trades from yesterday. The brand new trade being ZNTL, which we discussed yesterday a little bit. We actually discussed all these three trades. SafeX is one that we took on the 8th, so 2 days ago, and Kodak is the one that we took last week. All of them are all positions that I'm still holding right now, so I have not sold any of these. These are swing trades using the daily time frame, so daily candles is essentially what I'm trading. So I sent out the ZNTL trade here yesterday, just before the market closed, pretty much an hour before the market closed, and we ended up taking it. So it looked pretty good at the time. Nice little breakout here, aggressive green candle, and then nice resistance being broken. Combine that with explosive volume down here. It's pretty much all we're looking for right there. So I sent it out. Quick little plug for you guys. If you guys are interested in the watch list, go ahead and join. It's not every day though that I send out watch lists. As you can see today, we had no good stocks, so there was pretty much no trade today. But I'm going to give you guys a quick update on these three trades and how they're performing, and more specifically, what to do in the case that, well, once you're already in the trade, what do you do when you're in the trade? And let's say it comes in your favor, or even in some cases, if it doesn't come in your favor, what exactly do you do? What are the steps that you take in order to protect your account and also maximize your profits? Well, let's go over the ZNTL trade first of all, and then we'll go over the SafeX, and then lastly we'll end it with the Kodak trade. So again, first of all, what we're looking for is an explosive green candle, which we have over here. Combine that with some resistance being broken with that green candle, and then lastly you bring in the volume. So the volume needs to be a massive spike over here, as you can see over here in the downside. I don't want to move to the right yet, just because I'm hiding the action that we had today, just because I want to build more suspense for you guys. So three things: number one, aggressive green candle, resistance being broken with that candle, and then some explosive volume down here. It's pretty much all we're looking for right there. So what happened today? What happened today is we got an explosive, aggressive green candle. So yesterday I spoke about how these are pretty unique and powerful opportunities to actually participate in a massive, aggressive potential move, because it's not always a guarantee. Obviously, the market could come against you right away. As a matter of fact, in some cases, you'll even see the price come down even way lower than the explosive green candle that you got. So you'll end up having a counter aggressive candle going against you, or in some cases you'll just gap down and pretty much give up all the gains. But if you have all the things combined, you have some edge, and the probabilities are just simply in your favor. So you could take 100, 200 trades, and you'll quickly figure out this is actually an edge. The only difficult thing is actually, well, executing this setup exactly. So if we look at the Kodak trade, or actually not the Kodak, the SafeX trade, it also did pretty good today, but it wasn't the best setup. I mean, the biggest reason why it wasn't the best setup was simply because it lacked the data. So this is only literally 2 or 3 weeks worth of candlesticks here. Combine that with a ZNTL, it literally goes back 3 months right here of data, and then the Kodak trade as well. This one goes back 4 months, I think. So you could compare all these. Let me just put it this way. In other words, there's a lot of candles right here, a lot of candlesticks, a lot of days of data here. And if we look at the SafeX trade, I mean, just a handful of candlesticks right here. And that's, I think, in my opinion, is the problem here with the SafeX trade. And if you look over here, you'll notice that after the aggressive green candle, which was our entry bar, we had an aggressive red candle and essentially kind of hit our stop loss. But I mentioned that it hit our stop loss literally in the last minute, and I think the system or my broker just simply didn't take me out, and I still ended up just holding the trade. And today we actually got a 49% move today, so it was a really nice move. Target is at 1.21, so we're still a little far away from the target, but either way I managed to just pretty much keep my stop loss at the initial placement. So let me just go over to the ZNTL trade real quick, just to give you guys an example of where to actually place your stop loss. So once you enter the trade at the last couple of minutes of the day, essentially the last minute, that's what I like to do. But for some of you beginners out there, something manageable would be the last 5 minutes of the day. But if we look at my entry time, you'll see that all of them are executed, or my entry is pretty much at 12:59, literally the last couple of seconds of the day. What my broker allows me to do is just send out a market on close order. That's what it's called. It pretty much just enters the trade at whatever price the stock is at during the last couple of seconds of the day. So that's pretty much what I do. But as soon as I enter, I put out a stop loss order at the midpoint of that aggressive green candle. So the entry bar, which is right here, this was yesterday, and in this case it was roughly around right here, 3.69, something like that. And the way to get that is pretty much just adding up the open of this candle and then the close, and then dividing that by 2, and you'll easily get a stop loss area. But what happens then if it does come in your favor? Well, you can't just simply leave the stop loss where it's at, because, well, you never know what could happen, especially when you're talking about penny stocks. These penny stocks could literally gap down right away the next day and give up all those gains very quickly. And the last thing you want to do is give up some profits that you already made. So at this point, I pretty much simply brought up my stop loss 1/16th under the current candle, and that essentially comes out to 4.450. The stop loss at this point is at break even, so slightly above break even. So at this point, it's not a matter of are we going to make money or not, it's a matter of how much money are we actually going to make in this trade. So we're currently holding I think, let's take a look at our Discord here. So if we look right here, you'll see that we are up 130. So this is pretty much close to 3% return on my account. 3% return in a single trade, that's pretty impressive. And the SafeX, we're up 1%. Kodak, close to 1% as well. So still holding all these three trades. ZNTL obviously being the bigger winner here, 49% move. And if we look at our target here, it is pretty damn close to it. We're literally literally like $1 away from hitting our target. Are we going to hit it? I don't know. But in the worst scenario, price just comes right back down and we just end up breaking even on this trade here. So that's literally the worst scenario. Of course, if the next candle does close a little bit higher with a higher low, I'll simply move up my stop loss 1/16 under that current candle. So that's ZNTL, really impressive move today. And then the Kodak trade also moved up slightly. It gapped up pretty nicely. Actually, it didn't gap up. It was actually a red day here for the Kodak trade, but we still managed to move up our stop loss just perfectly, 1/16 below this current candle, putting it at the 1165 area, locking in some profits. So at this point, again, it's a matter of how much money we're going to make as opposed to are we going to make money or lose money. So that's Kodak for you guys. Both of these trades are by the way, flawless trades here. Perfect setups right there. SafeX is the only one that we have some doubt about. But regardless of the fact, we still managed to make a 49% move today with the SafeX trade, which is pretty nice to see. And in this case, we just kept our stop loss at the exact same midpoint of it, just simply because I feel like if we would have calculated the 1/16 under this candle, it probably would have made us bring our stop loss down, which is the very last thing you want to do. You don't want to bring down your stop loss no matter what. As you can see, we also had a nice little volume spike over here. So hopefully it does hit our target, which is 1.21. We're still a little far away from it, probably like 40 cents or so. But regardless of the fact, I think in this trade specifically, I'm going to probably remove this little check mark just to make it clear that it wasn't the ideal trade here. And I did take note, I'm literally taking notes of all these setups over here. So we have the stop loss target, how much risk we're actually taking on these trades, which in every trade we risk 1%. As you can see, some fluctuation. In this case, we're risking 50.14. And in the SafeX trade 51, so a little bit higher. But if we look over here more to the right, you'll see that we have the conclusion of the elephant candle, the moving averages. What are they doing? So how much touch points of the breakout or the resistance, and then the daily trend, the volume, and then just a setup rating. So this one I gave it a 9, but I'd probably honestly give it an A at this point. And then some lessons. The other two, like Kodak, I put great setup, ZNTL prime setup, and then the SafeX heavily shorted. So if we zoom out a little bit, you'll see that this stock has been shorted ever since it's probably been created here. If we look over here, you'll see, yeah, massive downtrend that we've just been coming down from. Starting to kind of pick up a little bit, but you still definitely don't want to be buying into these aggressively shorted stocks. And if we look at Kodak here, you'll see that it actually has an uptrend, so that's pretty nice right there. And the ZNTL trade, it's kind of been going sideways, not gonna lie. There is some form of some strength in the short side over here, but if you look a little bit closer, you'll see that we've just kind of been going sideways over here. And specifically, if you look recently, you'll see that we had a nice little push up right here. So we try to move up higher a little bit, kind of creating the resistance, which we just officially broke out of yesterday. And then today we massive continuation. So things are looking pretty good in terms of our account. In terms of these trades, if you're not familiar with my videos, I have had a previous spreadsheet which I had like 30 to 40 trades, roughly around that much. I just simply got too cluttered. I decided to start a brand new one. But since I started a brand new one, I wanted to make it a little bit special and try to execute 10 perfect trades. Now, I'm already kind of a little bit slacking, but that doesn't mean it's over. I'm going to keep continuing to try to execute the best trades possible. And just kind of keep that mindset throughout the months here. And yeah, that's essentially it. Again, if you're interested in the watch list, if you're interested in learning more about the strategy, go ahead and join. I have a whole bunch of good stuff here for you guys, and completely for free. All this stuff that you're looking at right now is again completely for free. So go ahead and check us out. If not, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment on this video. That's much appreciated. I'll see you guys next week, hopefully, once I actually do close these trades and make some profit. Hopefully, but I'll see you guys next time. Stay focused, you guys.